Before the first sounds of the city fully awaken, Jerusalem rests in a fragile stillness. Stone walls, still cool from the night air, hold the memory of countless footsteps that passed here long before dawn. From a distance, the city appears timeless and immovable, yet within its narrow streets, a new day is already beginning to unfold. Smoke rises slowly from hearths hidden behind thick doors. Somewhere nearby, water is being drawn from a cistern, the ropes scraping softly against stone. Nothing about this moment announces its importance, and yet this is how history most often reveals itself, quietly, without ceremony. Jerusalem in the early 1st century was not a grand monument frozen in reverence. It was a living city shaped by routine, uncertainty, and human necessity. While later generations would speak of it in sacred terms, for those who lived here, it was a place of work, tension, hope, and fatigue. The streets did not echo with prophecy at every corner. More often, they carried the sounds of sandals against limestone, merchants arranging their goods, and animals being guided toward markets or sacrifice. A typical day did not begin with miracles. It began with survival. As the sky lightens above the Mount of Olives, the city's geography quietly asserts its influence. Jerusalem was built upon uneven terrain, its neighborhoods rising and falling with the hills beneath them. This physical reality shaped daily movement. Every errand required effort, every journey demanded awareness of elevation and distance. Archaeological remains suggest that most people lived in modest stone dwellings, often clustered tightly together. These homes offered protection from the heat, but little privacy. Daily life unfolded in close proximity, where voices carried easily and personal matters were rarely hidden. As the morning settles into its rhythm, the people of Jerusalem move with a quiet familiarity shaped by repetition. Paths are walked not by choice, but by necessity. Every incline, every descent across the city's uneven ground is known by the body before it is consciously acknowledged. Feet adjust automatically to stone worn smooth by generations, and effort is measured not in distance, but in elevation. The city demands energy simply to exist within it. Most homes offer little separation between public and private life. Built of stone and clustered tightly together, they form dense networks of shared sound and movement. Voices travel easily through narrow passages. Disagreements, laughter, fatigue, and routine are rarely concealed. Privacy is limited, not by design, but by circumstance. Life unfolds in layers, overlapping rather than isolated. Within these dwellings, time is organized around necessity. Storage jars are checked, food is prepared, tools are gathered for work that cannot be delayed. There is little room for abstraction. Each task supports the next, forming a chain of actions that sustain the household. Survival is not dramatic. It is methodical. As the day advances, Jerusalem's social structure becomes more visible. Wealth exists, but unevenly. A small number of families occupy larger homes closer to central areas, while the majority live modestly, their resources stretched carefully. Clothing reflects this divide. Garments are functional, worn, repaired repeatedly rather than replaced. Fabric carries the history of its use, softened by time and movement. Religious life remains present but understated. While the temple dominates the skyline, daily devotion often occurs quietly, within routine rather than ceremony. Faith is not always performative. It exists in gestures remembered, words recited from memory, habits maintained across years. Spirituality blends seamlessly with labor, offering structure rather than escape. If this reconstruction is helping you see the past more clearly, consider staying with the channel. These stories are built slowly, piece by piece, to understand how ordinary days shaped extraordinary history. Your presence here allows this journey to continue. Beyond individual households, the city functions as a system of interdependence. Farmers from surrounding regions arrive with goods that cannot be produced within the walls. In return, they take tools, pottery, and supplies back to their villages. Jerusalem depends on its surroundings as much as they depend on it. The city is not isolated. It is a hub of exchange, bound to the land around it. Roman authority remains an unspoken constant. Its presence is felt more than seen, embedded in regulations, taxation, and the knowledge of consequence. Soldiers appear at intervals, positioned where visibility matters most. They do not interfere with daily tasks, but their presence shapes behavior. Order is maintained through awareness rather than confrontation. As midday passes, the pace of the city adjusts once again. Heat settles into stone, slowing movement and narrowing focus. Work continues, but with restraint. Shade becomes valuable. Conversations shorten. Bodies respond instinctively to the environment, conserving energy for what remains of the day. Children navigate this world by imitation. They learn paths by walking them, roles by observing them, limits by encountering them. Play exists, but always within the boundaries of responsibility. Even moments of laughter are shaped by awareness of space and time. Childhood here is not sheltered. It is integrated. Afternoon brings a subtle shift in attention. The urgency of survival gives way to endurance. Tasks are completed not with haste, but with patience. The city does not chase progress. It maintains continuity. Change, when it comes, is gradual and often unrecognized until it has already taken hold. As evening approaches, households draw inward once more. Food is prepared simply, shared closely. Meals are not elaborate, but they provide cohesion. This is where stories are exchanged, concerns voiced softly, and the weight of the day acknowledged. The city's vast complexity reduces itself to the scale of the family. Night transforms Jerusalem into a quieter, more introspective place. Without artificial light, darkness redefines space. Lamps are lit carefully, illuminating only what is necessary. Movement outside becomes rare and purposeful. The city's sounds soften, replaced by stillness broken only by distant steps or the movement of animals settling for rest. Sleep does not arrive uniformly. Some drift quickly into rest, others remain awake longer, listening. In these moments, uncertainty feels closer. Political pressure, economic strain, and social hierarchy do not disappear with darkness. They linger in thought, shaping expectation and concern. Yet alongside uncertainty exists resilience. This way of life has endured before, and it will endure again. Before dawn returns, Jerusalem rests in balance. The day has passed, but its patterns remain intact. Morning will come without announcement, and the cycle will begin again. Those who live here do not know which moments will later be remembered. They live within the present, unaware that history is forming quietly around them. And it is precisely this ordinariness that gives the city its lasting significance. History does not announce itself with spectacle. It emerges through repetition, through lives lived within constraint and continuity. Jerusalem's influence does not come from constant revelation, but from the accumulation of countless ordinary days, layered carefully across time.